Thank you for the opportunity that you give to OSIWA to introduce our grant-making guidelines and what applicants should know. So my presentation will go over OSIWA and its priority areas, the eligibility process, the application requirement, and one important aspect of the grant application is the pre-grant inquiry. Over the past 2 years, we have tried to get more interested in social enterprise, especially youth-led social enterprises in the area of information technology, because they can have high impact in the communities. We've been trying to help some youth software developer incubate their project idea because they address a special needs, such as, for instance, farmers having a problem selling their product. So these youth are developing software to help these farmers be able to really sell their product using social media platforms. So that's what we have been doing over the past 2 years. But traditionally, we would only fund nonprofit organizations. So as an introduction, I would say that like any grant applicant seeking funds from any donor, when you are interested in a grant from OSIWA, there are things that you should know before you organize your team to apply. I think it is important to know who we are, what are our strategic goals and priority areas, and determining whether your organization is fit to apply for the funding. So who is OSIWA? Adeyemi, you said it in your introduction. You're part of the network of Open Society Foundation. Open Society Foundation were established by philanthropist George Soros, who's based in the US but originally from Hungary. We are present in 37 countries throughout the globe. In Africa, OSIWA is one of 3 regional foundations. We are the Open Society Initiative for West Africa based in Dakar, Senegal. We cover 10 countries in West Africa, including Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea, Liberia, Senegal, Niger, Mali, and Sierra Leone. The way we are set up is the regional office is based in Dakar, and the grant making is centralized in the regional office in Dakar. And then we have a country office in Nigeria and a hub office based in Sierra Leone, but catering to the Mano River Union countries of Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. But no matter where you're situated in this 10 region, the grant making is centralized in the Dakar office. We predominantly, I may be for the benefit of others, I would say that in the Africa region, we are present in Nairobi, OSIWA, which catered for the Eastern Africa and Central Africa region, and OSISA in Southern Africa, which caters for country in South Africa. So OSIWA predominantly funds West African born and bred CSOs. So our focus is on West Africa-based CSOs. But we do partner with international organizations in the region, but only insofar as they're willing to transfer knowledge to local groups. I think our comparative advantage at OSIWA is that we cater to both the supply and demand dimension of governance, meaning that we support both civil society and government through a combination of flexible grant making, proactive advocacy, research, partnership building, technical assistance, and strategic litigation. We have a unique relationship with individual state and the economic community of West African state because we do a lot of advocacy at that level. And we have a convening power. We create opportunities for dialogue among state, civil society, and policymakers at both national and regional level. We also have a long, strong relationship with the African Union and its agencies, especially the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. So a lot of the advocacy we do is with government, but also the regional bodies such as the ECOWAS and the African Union. Our goal for the next 4 years, that is our strategy for 21-24, is to raise demands for better governance and protect democracy and improve the dividends of democracy, looking at issues of justice, equality, security, and economic opportunities. Our strategy focuses on the agency, on the citizen agency. We think that citizens are at the cornerstone of democracy. So we support a lot of citizen movement and interest groups by enhancing their ability to organize and mobilize for real democratic change, demand for transparent and accountable governance system, challenge the marginality of excluded groups, both in public and private sectors, and disrupt patriarchal spaces. So the strategy focuses on three overarching and closely related areas of work. The first one is to protect the civic space and increase integrity in the democratic process and accountability in democratic institutions. The second one is to strengthen citizen agency to hold state and corporate actors to account and to make economic development work for the poor. And the last but not least is to amplify and build the local agency for the enforcement of the rights of vulnerable groups and underrepresented groups. We have 4 strategic pillars. The first one is democratic governance. And in this pillar, we're looking at defense against authoritarianism, promoting integrity in the electoral process, promoting security sector governance, and countering radicalism. Our second strategic pillar is economic justice. And in this pillar, we're looking at social contract and public services, especially protecting and promoting health and education for all, and making sure that government is putting resources in these 2 key sectors. Another area in this pillar is natural resource governance and how natural resource governance can be a pathway to diversify economic opportunities for the region. We're looking also at new realities, the whole issue of climate change and climate transition. And under the pillar, the third pillar, equality, justice, and human rights, we are looking at the countering the criminalization of poverty and supporting innovative justice delivery, confronting inequality and exclusion of underrepresented group. And by underrepresented group, we are talking about people with disabilities and all sorts of minority groups. Rebuilding peace and social cohesion. And then we have a 4th pillar, which is called concept and initiative. And these are internal initiatives where we support future thinking, policy processes, research and innovation, especially in the area of data and digital rights, renewal and dynamism in West Africa civil society. How do we revive the West Africa civil society so they can play their role of making government to account? And then another important pillar is the use of art and culture that is supporting creative acting. You guys can go on the website, not only get more information about our strategy, but also the different things that we look for in a project application. But the usual thing, the problem statement, the approach, the context, who are the target beneficiaries, of course, organizational information. We want to know what type of organization you are, and of course, budget and the like.